All right. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another stream. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's go into. Let's take a look at what we have for news today, shall we? All right. So looking at the news today, we have JOLTS, so job openings, and then we have. Go eat out there, guys. Okay, we have JOLTS, and that's it. So that's at 10 a.m. And then after that, nothing really. Tomorrow, unemployment claims 8:30, so and 8:15. So something to keep in mind. So I mean, we could see some stuff today, but I'm not expecting much. Okay, moving on to today's verse comes from James 5:16. It says, "Therefore confess your sins to each other and pray for each other so that you may be healed. The prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective." So with that, let's just open up and let's dive in. So Lord, we thank you for this day. Thank you for this opportunity we get to be here. I pray that you lead us, give us wisdom, Lord, and self-control as we lean into the charts in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Moving on. Let's look at some levels, shall we? Let us look at some levels. So here we go. Let's go from weekly and start. Let's get rid of all of this actually. Let's get rid of this. Abbreviate. Yeah. Let's abbreviate these bad boys. Abbreviate. Okay, let's get rid of this for right now. And then we'll kind of take a look at where it's at, okay? And we'll get rid of this too. Nope. Right there. We're gonna get rid of all of this divergence stuff just for a second and just take a look at the charts on where we're at and what we're looking at. Because there's a couple of things that changed and a couple of things that have not changed. So I want to definitely bring that into your attention. And this way we can kind of be, up to date with everything that's going on. Let me fix my camera here. Just like that. Let me fix this real quick. Amazing. Okay. So yeah, let's take a look real quick. We mentioned, let's go to the monthly. We mentioned this monthly gap. And we can't dismiss this. Really can't dismiss this monthly gap. Okay, right here. And this is the same gap right here. Overlapped with basically all of this, right? Previous high, previous yearly high, and previous weekly low. So all of this here is really important that we keep in mind and that we look at, and we don't want to dismiss this because this is important. So let's go monthly gap. And we'll do the same thing here. Monthly gap. Now, we were concerned about it that, we did get a tap into it on YM, but YM has given us an SMT. YM hasn't been able to take these highs, these previous highs, where ES and NQ have. Same thing with RTY. So we also have divergence here. Do you remember this? We have our SMT there. And we have our SMT here for between YM and basically ES and Q, YM, RTY are giving us both SMT. So that SMT is right here. Guys, just so that you guys can see it. And if you need help understanding SMT, let me know. It's basically just divergence when one asset does something and the other one does not, as far as like sweeping highs and lows. That's really the biggest thing, right? So let's let's dive into this a little bit more. And hold on 1 second, guys. Shoot. Okay, give me just 1 second. Okay, we're back. There we go. So yeah, SMT, right? We know we have an SMT there. We also have a big OS, or let's see. Let's go to the weekly. And now we have an idea of what we're looking for or what we're looking at, right? So this is SMT. We're gonna mark it just like this. And I'm actually going to, this is gonna help us here we go. We're gonna go to the right. And this will just help us see what's going on. To the right. So we don't have to keep coming back to a higher time frame and guess, all of this stuff. So that'll just give us an idea of where SMT is actually taking place. I should just save it right here. SMT and SMT. Okay, there we go. So now we have that. On the weekly, if we take a look, yeah, on the weekly, it looks like nothing there, nothing here. No, that's important. Nothing here. Again, we're mostly rejecting sort of this right here. I don't even know if that's a gap. Is that a gap? I don't think that's a gap. Yeah, I don't see it. Okay, that one's not a gap. So we took, here's what we're doing, right? So this is if we're comparing and looking at, I'm just gonna look at ES and NQ because they're the most correlated at this point, right? So if we look, we have a second SMT here, right? And then we have, this is right here. Okay, and this is what took us lower right here. This is what took us lower, this SMT took us lower, right? But we created a second SMT here to take us higher. And then here's that SMT right here. You can see how it barely just broke. It tapped, took this low. This one did not. And so gave us a second SMT. Now what? Well, let's see if we can find another SMT, right? So if we know that we just got the second SMT, are we going to come in here and rebalance to 50%, which we did? 50% is right here. 23.5. Let's just call it 23.550. Okay? We're going to call it 23.550, and that is 50% of this range. And now that we've rebalanced, now can we come back and take this and come into this monthly gap? That is sort of the question that I'm asking myself now, and that's what I want to see. So let's now that we have that game plan, right? We know we want to come back up and take 50% of that. We can start to look for sort of entries and stuff, or areas of interest where we might want to get in. So I'm going to go down to the 3-day, and I do like the 3-day. I think it's really, really important. Okay, so on the 3-day, we have this inversion which held. See that here? And I say held, it closed above, but then it immediately dropped below. So we're still in this on the 3-day. Technically, we've rejected. Technically, we're closed above. Technically, this could continue higher and close right above. But I mean, the likelihood of that right now doesn't look very promising, especially now that we have a gap underneath, and especially that we haven't really rebalanced this whole move, right? We did sort of just move around here, consolidated and moved up. We can measure this to 50% and say, yeah, well, we did rebalance, and that's a fair statement. But I think there's still room for us to pull back, a healthy pullback all the way down here, and then continue higher, right? If we break below this, that's another story. That's a different story for a bearish market for the next couple of months. Okay, going to the daily time frame, and this is what we have. We have let's just mark out areas of interest and things that we might want to see, right? So right now we have this SMT here. So this is a high of interest. We're gonna call it um, AOI, area of interest. Okay, this is an area of interest there. What else? We can call this one an area of interest, even though we've already tapped into this. Area of interest. And we want to call this one down here an area of interest. And down here, we also want to mark this out as an area of interest. So now that we have our area of interest for the day, right? I'm talking about it for the day. This is the daily. So within, the week, but we're inside of this range for the day. Okay. We know that we've taken 50%, right? We know we're in the 50% mark at this point, and we just want to see what's gonna happen. Now, what do I want to actually see at this point? Honestly, this SMT, right, on ES gave us a CISD, and I know this is a lot. Okay, this is a lot. I get it. CISD there. So we have this SMT. Let's just get rid of this. We know those are the areas of interest. We have this SMT, right? Gave us a CISD, a change in the state of delivery down here. Okay. This change in the state of delivery, right? Boom, closes right here, opens. And now we want to see, we tap back into that CISD. Now we want to see us come all the way down here to take out this SMT. And then at that point, we can see what whatever price wants to do at that point, right? Hopefully, I don't think it's not going to be a single leg down, but I think we could start moving towards this direction if this holds, right? Because the CISD is in premium. So if we look at it as premium and discount, right, of this leg, let's just even do this leg. We're right above the 50% area. So we can expect for this. Yeah, this is perfect. We're also in OT. So this is perfect. I like this for shorts. Okay. I really do like this for shorts. I think this is valid. I think we can get into I think this is a great area for us to short. Now, I was looking at this high and hoping, oh well, maybe we come up here, take this high, SMT up here, but we already have an SMT. So this high is already an SMT. So this is technically a protected high, right? Because NQ is the weakest asset at this point, then we can expect this high to be protected, not needing to come all the way up here. Instead, finding an entry around this area and then taking a short, right? A couple of areas of interest that I would look at are these right here. So all of these open and closes is one, right? I would also look at this right here, which is number 2. And honestly, this is too wide. I'm gonna go right here and I'm gonna go right here like that. That one, this is also an inversion, right? You can see how we held that, broke below, rejected, tapped back into it, and now we're looking for a rejection at this point. Okay. We also have these, the last close right here of these two, the close and the open of this candle, right, which are daily candles, are really important too. You can see how that's inside of that inversion. So there's also a gap, by the way. So the gap is from here to here, which is also helping with that. So you can see there's a bunch of things happening around this area, the 23,500, 23,800, or 23,480. And so that's what I'm looking at, okay? Now, we know that SMTs want to hunt other SMTs. So that's kind of like the main thing. And SMT will, let's do this. What if I show you guys this one so you can see it a little bit better? So SMTs will hunt SMTs, right? Basically, we want to know that, okay, if we have a big SMT and a smaller SMT, we can almost be certain that it will come back and hunt for it and then continue to a different direction. Okay, so let's now that we have that settled, if this was our first SMT here, let's mark this first SMT, and this is our second SMT down here. Second SMT. I need to fix this, don't I? Yeah, I do. There we go, much better. And if that's our second SMT, then we can expect this SMT, which was created here. We can expect this. Okay. And I'm just going to clean it up so you guys can see it a little bit better. We can expect this SMT to come and hunt this one. Okay. Oh, sorry. No. The opposite is true. Typically, this SMT will hunt this one, but because this is on a higher time frame and we have a macro SMT, I'm gonna trust the higher time frame SMT, and this becomes an SMT for a rebalance. That's how I'm looking at it. Sorry. So a rebalance or back into CISD. You can see that I think this is on the 12-hour. Yeah, so this is our first CISD here. Taps back into it, drops lower, gives us that SMT. Then we have this CISD here, right? Or this CISD here. So you can see how this area is kind of a big one at this point. ES is rejecting at the, okay, yeah, so this is good. ES is rejecting. I like this. I like this setup for shorts. Okay, now let's take a look at individual equities. Let me know if you guys have anything you want to look at, and then we'll take it from there. So starting with Meta, let's go with Meta. Meta on a daily time frame. Let's look at it this way. You can see a very clear area right here. Right here. Meta has just broken below this. Okay, so this is important. If Meta can recover, we can continue higher. If Meta breaks below this, the next level you can expect is right here, that 700, 710. So this is I would say, I wouldn't know that I would want to do anything here until we get above or below this. So that's Meta. Let's go to NVIDIA. NVIDIA's been super interesting. There's a wall here on NVIDIA that we can't seem to get through. That wall is at 184. All of this. We cannot get through this. Okay. That is a big no-no on NVIDIA. Haven't been able to break through that. What the heck? Okay, haven't been able to break through that. Oh, come on. I just need to save this. Oh my Lanta. Okay. NVIDIA, that there's a wall there. There's a wall there, right? And we saw this one too. This is a big one. I think this is a I hate that green. Let's change it. Sorry guys. I've gotta make sure all this stuff is good to go. Save as support. Yeah. So those are sort of I mean this is resistance at this point, right? So this is NVIDIA. This is what I'm looking at on the daily. Okay. NVIDIA, I would love for us to come back to previous all-time high. This also fits the narrative of a of our weekly gap on ES and NQ. Something to keep in mind, right? So not just looking at futures, but also equities and understanding how and why they would do the same thing as NQES, especially since NVIDIA drives a lot of NQES, right? So we can consider that, right? If we open lower, if we get a bounce up and reject this, there's no reason for us to, not get below all of this. The second, I mean, I would say 164 is another area, 165, where we might want to stay out of it. I would say this is an area, just stay out of it. Where is it? Yeah. That's one that I would stay out of. What did I do here? What color is this? Whatever. I'm gonna save this, guys, because then I will forget. $15. Yep. And then save. Yeah. Okay. So this is a no trade basically zone right here. I wouldn't trade this here. Just wait till we get below this, or yeah, I would say wait till we get right around here and figure out if we want to go below or above and reclaim this and then take us higher. And then we could probably get a push higher, right? Because this is just trading sideways, consolidating. We get this manipulation move. Do we want to continue lower, or are we going to reclaim this and continue higher? That's NVIDIA, Apple. Hold on, let's see. Yeah. All right, yeah. We're rejecting right now. See, this is good. I like this. We're rejecting pretty good right now. So, yeah, NQ is rejecting. ES is rejecting. YM is rejecting. Okay, look at YM on the 90-minute. I got to show you this. Look at how beautifully it rejected. First rejection, second rejection. Now we're going down to the 45, 30, 33. Or 4500s, actually. I think we'll go back to the 4500s on YM. So that is already set up, ready to go. This is good. This is going to lead, I think, NVIDIA, ES, NQ. So something to keep in mind there, right? Like something to keep in mind. Be aware of that. And yep. All right, Apple. What are we doing with Apple? Previous all-time high. Apple came back, did some weird stuff here, but ultimately holding that 200. Ultimately holding that 200, right? All of this. So this low here, this is important. This low, and this was earnings low, I believe. This low right here. That earnings low was held beautifully. So that low was being held beautifully, chopped around, right? Got this massive fake, fake out, but reclaimed it, chopped around for a little bit, didn't do much. So I'm gonna say this is our no trade zone right here. Right here is our no trade zone. I would say don't touch it here. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's just mark this out. I'm gonna go right here. Right here is support. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Support. I would say don't trade this here. This is a no trade zone right here. All of this is no trade zone. Don't trade it here. No trade zone there. And then we have this massive I'm gonna mark this as just massive support here. Okay, this is massive support. And then if you want to look at it, I mean we definitely have some resistance right here, right now where we're at. This is our first point of resistance here. And obviously the next one is up here, right? But we're looking at this. If we claim this, we could take these highs easily. So no trade zone. You could look for a bounce here. So this was a rejection, right? This is a small. Yeah, this is a small area that you might want to keep an eye out. So, you know, bounce. You could short into this, but maybe 50% of this move, and then see what it wants to do. Okay. Moving on to the next. What else are we looking at? We're looking at. We already have that. Google. Google's looking pretty strong, honestly. So I drew this out. Here. And I think it's more like this. I drew this out. I think Google is ready for a drop of some sort. Okay. I mean, we've just been moving. It's a healthy move to the upside. 197 200 is important. I don't really have a good read on Google, but if I was going to say, hey, this is a good place, it would be right here. It would be right here. This is a good place for longs. If we get a pullback long, that would be a good place. The next one is going to be way down here. Yeah, right around here. At the 185 or 188. But for now, I mean, Google's just making all-time highs. So something to be cautious about. I wouldn't really be trading this. I mean, you have this previous all-time high here. Previous all-time high. On Google. So, nothing crazy. Tesla, let's look at PLTR. PLTR has been making this like bear flag and then just instead of it dumped, but just recovered again. So PLTR, I'm going to go right here. I'm going to go right here as a point of resistance. Okay, that's one. That's a big one, actually. That's a big one, right? So broke below, rejecting. But we also have, see, we have previous all-time highs here. I really do like this. And then we also have this right here. There's a big area of support right here. So something to keep in mind, okay? We're inside of this channel. I guess you can call it a bear flag, but still a channel. It's kind of odd. I don't know. I would be interested in shorting at 160. What else? I'd be interested in shorting. So I trade TSLL. You don't have to trade TSLL, but I mean, it follows Tesla. Um, you can see Tesla. We have some important areas right here. I'm actually gonna mark this one out differently and get rid of this. Right there, an area of support right there. I mean, low resistance liquidity down here, right? We've been just taking this. This is sort of like a side. This is definitely sideways action, but at the same time, we have a very clear flag, right? So let me show you that right now. So we go here. This right here. Let me close this in. Okay, so this is a channel we are trading in, but we also have this right here. So we have this. Okay. Sort of a we chopped down, like chopped around here, you know, came whatever, then came down and slowly made our way up in a structure. This was a structural way, right? This was just a kind of two moves, but this is structured to the upside, bear flag into resistance and drop lower. I would expect us to come back to the 288s. So something to keep an eye on, something to watch out for. Okay. That's Tesla for now. Let's go to the if we go to the 4 hour. Tesla on the 4 hour. Man. Yeah, 330 337 level. Yeah, I'm going to say this 337 right here. 338.30. This is something you want to watch out for here. This right here. Big area of what is this? Yeah, I'm gonna say right around here. All of this, right? Break below, retest. If we reject this, we can continue lower. Okay, we can continue lower here. And a little. Support would be, I'm gonna go right. There's a couple, but I think the one that I see the most is this one right here. This right here. That would be sort of an area of support that I'm looking at. The second one is going to be right here. These are small, but still something to keep in mind. So that's what I'm looking at. You can see we kind of reject, break, support, break. Yeah, there's a lot of little channels here, but I think these would be the ones that I'm looking at, right? Yes, you have this, but again, rejection all the way down to these two areas. So I would say even these two together, just keeping an eye. I would not trade inside of this at all. Inside of this is a big, just don't trade it. Okay, that's a don't no trade area. It's a gray area. So yeah, I wouldn't trade this at all. Just keep. This is again. This is what I'm looking at. 338.30. I'm looking at 3 352 around this area for another area of resistance, and then these two. This is going to be tricky. If we can break below, don't get caught in here. Wait till that 316 break, and then we can see lower prices, right? Don't get caught in here. So don't be shorting like into this area. If we see that first break, just know that there's two areas that we need to break through before we continue lower. Or if we want to hold, like this is massive right here because you have two. So let's see. Did we do PLTR? Yeah, we did PLTR. PLTR. Let's go to the 4-hour on PLTR. Same thing. I mean, we're just chopping around, right? Like you have massive wicks here. So even if we mark this level at 155, you'll probably get caught. Okay, on all of this. So yeah, that 154.90 level. But I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna go with this right here. This is the, what is this? This is 153.17. And we have, I'm going to call this, yeah, we'll go here. 161.44. Yeah, I mean, next, there's like the opening of a gap here that you could possibly look at. This was the up, so it would be right here. I don't know how, I mean, you can see how it's reacting, but it ultimately heads into this area up here. You can start a position, but that's, I mean, it depends on how much risk you're willing to take at that point, right? So there's kind of meta. Yeah, I said we're not trading meta. So that's what I'm looking at. Okay, that's what I'm looking at. This Apple, this just became support. Sick. And that's it. $8.50. $8.50. Let's see. Yeah. All right. So that's, oh no. Okay. What happened here? Okay. So that's kind of it. I mean, I would like to see us reject here, right? Like you can see we marked out the CISD. This CISD is also an area of interest when it comes down to, and this again, you can look at this as support and resistance. You can look at this as ICT, whatever. It's all the same language to get to the same point, right? It's just the way I mean, it's different language to get to the same point. So no matter what you use, how you see the market, you can clearly see it follows a specific structure. And we are just trying to interpret how that structure is defined, if you will, right? Like you can be like, so here on ES, for example, well, you can't see that here on ES. Let's just say we have Somebody can come in here and be like, oh, we have a CISD, which we did. Look at that. We marked it as CISD. Somebody else can come in here and say, oh, we have resistance here. This is resistance. This is a break and retest of this area to go lower. Both are valid, right? Both are valid. And you can see it. There's another, here's another part of like another confluence is we have previous rejections, rejection. This is beautiful, right? So we can think of it that way. And same thing on how we came into our conclusion here, right? So you can see there's different ways of getting to the same point. And I think that's just important that we know and understand, hey, like we can get to the same point in different ways, and one isn't better or more than the other. Cool. Any questions? You guys good? That's kind of the outlook. That's what I'm looking at. So good luck to all of you. Good luck if you are trading today. It is going to be a good day. Just keep in mind, hey, just follow structure. Like this is beautiful. Look at this beautiful rejection. Wow. Like this is price action. This is like really, really good price action. Okay. Price action is doing what it needs to do. Same thing with ES and YM are like dressed properly, if you will. Yeah, YM is just dropping. ES is trying to follow. NQ's not budging as much. I really thought NQ was going to be the weaker one. I guess not. How would you find an entry here? That's a good question. Looking at trusting kind of the areas of interest that we just placed, right? That's one. Two is looking for, let's see, if you trade, let's just do the same thing. If you trade support resistance, right, you can go to the 1 minute. You can say, oh, well, this is all right here. You can see all of this is resistance or yeah, now became resistance. Okay, that's one. Then this became support. Okay, that's two. Are we turning this into resistance? Let's go right here. Right? Do we turn this into resistance or is this a fake count? All right, cool. Boom. Rejection. Rejection. And like this is on the 1 minute, so things can change quickly. But you get the point, right? That's one entry. The way that I like to look for an entry is looking at something like the let's go to the 15 minute, and I can be okay. Do we have a CISD? Yes, we do. Boom. There it is. Did we break below? Yes, right here on this candle. Then we come back in here into this CISD candle right here, and this is how I'm looking at it. The CISD candle. Perfect. Put my entry here. Sell, stop loss above these highs, take profit wherever I think it's going to take profit at, right? Like maybe down here. That would be sort of my entry, right? I could put my stop higher if I think that we're gonna take this and create an SMT, but this is how I usually trade. We're now below the open, where NQ is not. We're below the open on everything except on NQ. So NQ needs to get below this open. Oh, you guys can't see this. Get out of here. If you want to join the group, you're more than welcome to. So, link in the description below. Yeah, YM is just dropping. Here's YM. Yeah, YM is just dropping. You guys like these charts or these charts? I can do either or. But I personally like these. I did take a short at that 50 previous month 50%. Wants to take us lower if we want to get it. Mm-hmm. I'm willing to add to this position. I probably will add to this position actually. 30 minutes? I don't think so. I'll wait. 30 minutes still open. And even if at 30 minutes it just dumps, I'm okay with that. I'll be okay with that. Because in 30 minutes we could come, dump, SMT, and then do the real move to the downside, right? We do have an SMT here. I just noticed this, so something to keep in mind. We have a beautiful SMT right here. So actually, this looks pretty good. You can see that right now, right here, SMT. I mean, this looks pretty good. Not gonna lie. I'll take a loss on this if we need to. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it if we want to. Probably should take it to the open. Because at that point, if we drop, we'll probably create an SMT and then, yeah. $903. Okay, I'm gonna leave let me see. Honestly, my stop is probably a little tight, if I'm gonna be really honest. I know you should move your stop, but I just did. It just feels like it's so tight. Like I wanted at least on this first down candle, just to give it some room. If we, if I'm wrong, then I'll know. I'll know quickly, instead of letting it go all the way up here and then cutting. I have, and I'm looking at sort of previous highs and lows. So I have this. That's one. And then I have this here as a second one right here. And this is sort of the channel that I'm looking at. Mm. Alrighty. Took a stop out on that one. And this is my other one here. Just 5 contracts. Super small. Nothing crazy. I am going to go for one more time and that's it. I do have a good feeling on this one. Especially at open, I could see this just I mean, this was such a slow grind to the upside. Yeah, beautiful rejection here in the daily open. Love it. Love to see it. Rejecting this again. I mean, this is going to take a minute. This is 4 hours. Yeah, it's going to take a minute. If we even want to get down there, right? Uh, Make close. I might just take 50% of this move right into here. Previous, yeah, that's better. That's a better TP for me actually. I do like this. Yeah, look at where ES is at. YM is just yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens. Oh my gosh. Alrighty, well, that's it for me. We got 20 minutes until market open, and we'll see you guys. Yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. So I'll be here. Have a good day. Have a good trading day, and we'll talk soon.